Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. For today's session, you'll need a wall that you can use for later on in the session for some assisted stretching. Today we'll start off in a kneeling position. Bring your hands to rest on your knees or your thighs. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And take these first few moments to bring focus and awareness to your breathing. With every inhale, feel the expansion of your ribs and your belly. And with every exhale, allow your spine to grow a little bit taller. Feel loose and released in your neck, your jaw, your shoulders. Slowly start to blink open through your eyes. Bring your hands so they come back behind you, so your fingers are pointing towards your body. Push your hips away from your heels. Option to drop your head. Take a moment, open through the fronts of your hips. And then lower your hips back down towards your heels. Crawl yourself back forward into a tabletop position and move to a cow rounded spine. Pull your chin to chest. And we'll move between these two postures. So bring your hands back behind you, push your hips up. Option to drop your head as you open your hips. And then lower your hips, crawl your fingertips back forward, and find a big rounded spine. And continue to move between these two postures. Just finding some flexibility, mobility through your spine. Also notice how your hips begin to unlock, especially as you find this arched position, as you open through the fronts of your hips. We'll do about 2 more of these, moving forwards and backwards. Moving at your own pace, your own timing. Allow looseness through your jaw, through your neck, through your shoulders. And then last time, move yourself into that cat spine, big rounded spine. And then come into a neutral spinal position. And then arch through your spine. Lift your chin, lift your gaze. Bring yourself back to a neutral spine, and now step your left foot forward. So you're coming into a lunge position. Lower your back knee, reach both arms up, push your hips forward. Feel your shoulders pull down your back as your fingertips energize up towards the ceiling. Now bring your left forearm to your left thigh. Reach your right arm up and over your right ear. So you're expanding all along the right side of your body. Continue to push your hips forward. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, bring your right hand down. Flip your back toes, lift your back knees. So you're in a lunge position, and then move into a 3-legged dog. Right away, bend your left knee, open your hip. Take a little moment here. You can find any movement that may feel good. And then step yourself to a forward fold, ragdoll forward fold, and roll up to stand. Once you're there, open up wide through your arms. Interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Punch your fists down, lift your chin and your chest up. And then soften your knees, find a forward fold, come all the way down, drop your head. Wiggle your jaw, take a big breath in. Take a full breath out. Release your hands. Step your left foot back, so you're in this lunge position. Lower your back knee, reach your arms up overhead. Pull the shoulders down your back. Breathe in. And breathe out. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Reach your left arm up and over your left ear. So you're finding this beautiful expansion all along the left side of your body. Keep pushing your hips forward. Take one more big breath in. And then lower your left hand back down to the mat. Flip your back toes. Find 3-legged dog with your right leg up into the air. Bend your right knee, open your hip. Push down evenly through both of your hands. Take a few moments for yourself here. Huge breath in. Huge breath out. And then step your right foot forward. Bring your left foot up. You're in a forward fold. Roll up to stand. Open wide through your arms. And then rotate your palms. Interlace your fingers. Maybe place your opposite thumb on top. Punch your fist down. Lift open through your chest. Bend your knees, find a forward fold. Find a few moments of breath here. Allow opening into your chest. And then release your hands. Bend your knees once again and slowly roll yourself up to stand. Think of stacking through your vertebrae as you come all the way up. Head is the last thing to arrive. And this is where we're going to use the wall. So find your wall, and if you have any knee sensitivity, you could grab a cushion as well. I'm gonna grab a little blanket here. If you're using a blanket, or you can of course use your mat, place it right in front of your wall. You're going to come into a lunge position. So you'll bring a knee onto that cushion or blanket and then step your right foot forward. So my left shin, my back shin is up against the wall. And then my hands, you could keep your hands down on the ground if this is already feeling really sensitive to you. Maybe you bring your hands to rest on your front thigh, or you can reach your arms up to the ceiling or back against the wall for a little bit of extra stability. Find what works for you. Continue to push your hips forward. Almost think of tucking through your pelvis and pulling your belly button up and in. And again, if you need to keep your hands released over, if this is just a super intense opener, then keep your hands on the mat or the ground. But this is a great way to open through the front of your left hip, your left quad, your left hip flexor, even into the psoas just a little bit. So breathe into this space. Notice tension that you're holding on to in your shoulders. Try to release that tension. Also notice what's going on in the jaw, neck, other areas where it's really easy to hold on to tension. I'm gonna slowly come out of this and move to the opposite side. So place your opposite knee on your cushion if you're using one, or your mat, and then step your opposite foot forward. Give yourself a moment just so you can kind of adjust to this position, and you can stay released over, or again, you can bring your hands to rest on your front knee or your front thigh. Push your hips forward, and you can experiment with lifting one arm or both arms up into the air. Just notice how that changes, stretching or lengthening into the front of your hip. Take a few big breaths here. Notice tension you may be holding on to in your shoulders or your jaw. Take a huge belly breath in, a huge belly breath out. Try to pull your belly button in to feel even more lengthening, opening into the front of your back hip flexor, quad. Find a few more moments here. Push down into your front foot. I know it can be pretty intense. And then slowly make your way down. We're gonna move away from the wall and come back to your mat. Come all the way down onto your belly. Lie flat on your front. Interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Punch your fist back towards your ankles. And then start to lift your head and shoulders up off the ground. So you're getting a nice opening into the front of your chest and a little bit of activation, some back strengthening here as you pull your fist back towards your ankles, and then go ahead and lift your feet and ankles up off the mat as well. Breathe into this space, pin your shoulder blades together. Take a huge breath in, and then slowly release all the way back down onto your front. Bring your right ear to rest on the mat. Your hands can come to your sides. Give yourself a moment here. Breathe in and breathe out. And take that again, a huge breath in and a huge breath out. And then bend your knees. Catch your feet or ankles with your hands. Now you can stay in that position, or maybe you kick your feet into your hands so much that your chest and your knees and thighs lift up off the ground for what's called a bow pose. Just try it out. Finding some activation into the back body, finding some openness into the front body. And then go ahead and release yourself down. Bring your left ear to rest on the mat. And take a few big breaths here into your upper back. The hips are heavy, the shoulders are released. Take a huge breath in and a huge breath out. And then make your way onto your back. One last back bend, front body opener. Option to take a bridge pose, so lifting your hips up off the mat. This is option 1. Option 2, if you feel it's accessible to you, is to come into a full back bend or a wheel pose. You can bring your fingers by your shoulders, push down into your hands and your feet as you open through the fronts of your hips. And breathe into this space. A huge breath in and a full breath out. And either of these options, you're either in that bridge pose or that wheel pose, just allowing the front of your body to open up. Take one more breath, and then slowly lower. Reach your legs out long in front of you. You can reach your arms out wide to the side. Just allowing the front body to be exposed. Feel expanded through the front body. Use your breath to breathe into your belly, to breathe into your chest. And give yourself a few moments here. Notice any shifts you may feel. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.